We're going to start off with our Golden Cystoscope winner, my partner in crime for Michigan Urology Academy every year. I've really always appreciated his hard work for us. He is a well-accomplished researcher and also such a great guy. Welcome, Simpa Salami.
Thanks, Dr. Go, for that kind introduction, and it's great to see everyone this morning. When Dr. Go invited me to speak, she essentially invited me to do two things I'm not comfortable doing: speaking, publicly and talking about myself. But what I thought I would do today is talk about myself just a little bit, and then I'll pivot and talk about you. Share some of the lessons that I have learned over the last few years as I reflect on how I got here. And perhaps some of the lessons that I have learned may help you, mentors in the room, may help trainees in the room as we work together to end cancer as we know it. So the Cancer Moonshot Initiative was introduced, signed into law in 2016. It was championed by President Biden, who at the time was the vice president. And the mission is simple: ending cancer as we know it. Since then, they've worked with more than 170 companies, academic institutions, nonprofit organizations. They've been able to create more than 95 programs, policies, and mobilize resources with targeting five specific areas, including screening and early detection, prevention, innovation in the way we deliver care, innovation in the therapies that we use to treat cancer, and with a renewed focus on patients and caregivers. As part of that initiative, I was privileged to be selected as one of the Cancer Moonshot Scholars last year. And this year, as Dr. Go mentioned, the AUA selected me to receive the Gold Cystoscope Award. This was a proud moment, but also very humbling to receive this award in the presence of my wife and two of my key mentors, Dr. Ganesh Palapatu and Dr. Morgan. It's even more humbling when I look at the list of people who have received the award previously and all of the great things that they've gone on to do in contribution to our field. Notably, two Michigan Medicine faculty, Dr. Edward McGuire, received the award when he was at Yale. And Dr. Will Roberts, who is here today, received it in 2014. Dr. Matt Cooperberg got it in 2015. Thanks, Matt, for joining us today as well. I thought that I would start with why. Why am I here? And Simon Sinek is a very brilliant guy who popularized the concept of the golden circle, that starting with why can be a powerful motivation, not only for self, but also for leaders to inspire those who they work with to do what they do. What is my why? I was 18 when my dad passed away from cancer, and I strongly believe that if it was detected early, he possibly may have been cured. He possibly may be here today. That is my why. That is why I do what I do. My clinical and research practice are focused on early detection and treatment of prostate and kidney cancer. When Dr. Morgan sent out this tweet when I received the award earlier this year, I reflected on it a little bit, and I thought to myself, although one person is often named in an award like this, it really isn't an award for a single person. It is a team award. The team of people that we work with, our trainees, students, residents, and fellows, faculty, our staff, our patients, and mentors. It really takes teamwork and collaboration to be able to do something like this. So I'll start with the first part of my team, mentors. Throughout my career from medical school, postgraduate studies, and then residency and fellowship, I've been privileged to be mentored by outstanding men and women who have shaped my career, shaped my vision, the way I think about things, the way I ask questions. In fact, even the decision to come to Michigan for fellowship was shaped by Dr. Kawusi. He said to me, "You're going to Michigan." And here we are. But really, my mentors have helped me exceed my own expectations. This is a quote from Dr. David Miller, who himself has exceeded his own expectations. Our mentors really help us to achieve what we think we cannot achieve. What that does, though, is compel me to want to mentor others. And I'm still learning how to do this. Excuse me. I'm still learning how to do this to be able to mentor other people, residents and fellows, to mentor the next generation that will help us end cancer as we know it. Then I work with a team of people in the lab, talented men and women who actually do the work in the lab. These are the guys that do the experiments, do the analysis. The last time I probably held a pipette was maybe when posing for a photo shoot for maybe Jason or something. And then collaborators, right? Without my collaborators, I will not be able to do what I do. For example, I work with Dr. Aaron Uliger, who is one of our outstanding GU pathologists. Without him, I will have no idea what I'm looking at under the slide, whether prostate or bladder. So it really takes a team to do the kind of work that we do. But the team is bigger than you think. This is a slide I got from Dr. Palpatu, really showing our department, and you're going to see this a little bit later today. And I've highlighted the neurourology, pelvic and reconstruction division. I'm going to tell you a really quick story. At one time, I did a lap nephrectomy, and the patient came back, was readmitted to the hospital with bleed. When I got the call from the ER, I was operating at Chelsea, one of our satellite hospitals about 20 minutes away from the main campus. And so I was not there to take care of the patient, and Dr. John Stoffel took the patient to the operating room. 2 days later, the same patient had to go back to the operating room. I was not there, I was out of town, giving a talk somewhere, and Dr. Stoffel took the patient back to the operating room. So because of the team of people that I work with, I'm able to do what I do. So when I say that a recognition like this is really a recognition of the team, a recognition of you, that is what it means. There's no better way to capture this than the words of the famous Michigan coach, Bo Schembechler. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. The team, really highlighting the fact that no one person, not the coach, not the leader, is more important. Every single person on the team is important. To end cancer as we know it, we have to ask the right questions. Questions that patients care about, questions that providers care about, questions that those who fund the studies care about. This is one question that we've asked: what defines the biologically dominant nodule? And that is because in most patients with prostate cancer, there are oftentimes discrete areas of cancer in the prostate. And when there's metastasis, the question is, where is it coming from? What is the nodule that is most likely to cause harm? Dr. Udit Singhal, who is now one of our faculty, formerly resident and fellow with us, helped lead this project. And what we found was that lymph node metastasis is idiosyncratic, meaning it is unique to every individual patient. There are factors, however, there are important factors like driver alterations in genes like FOXA1, P53, and CDK12, and histopathologic factors like EPE or cribriform pattern that are associated with lymph node metastasis. Something else I would like to highlight about this work is that it is a multidisciplinary, multi-institutional collaboration involving 4 different countries. So it will take teamwork and collaboration to do work like this. That work laid the groundwork for the project that was actually funded through the Cancer Moonshot Initiative. The question that we asked was, what is the biological trajectory of grade group 1 prostate cancer? When a patient with grade group 1 prostate cancer progresses to grade group 2, there are essentially 3 mechanisms to explain the grade progression. It could be cancer, high-grade cancer that was there, that was missed at the time of the initial biopsy. It could be due to new development of high-grade cancer, or it could be due to clonal progression, meaning the grade group 1 prostate cancer progressed over time, clonally, to grade group 2 or higher. The answer to this will help us determine understand how to it will help inform active surveillance, the manner and the intensity of active surveillance, and potentially we may be able to come up with markers that can help predict grade progression. Our lab is also interested in the kidney cancer space. Currently, there is no clinically available biomarker for risk stratifying patients with kidney cancer. So when a patient presents with a small renal mass shown on the left or a large renal mass, we ask, is it cancer? How bad is it? Can we treat it? What treatment is needed? Do we need multiple treatments? This year, a group of us with Dr. Morgan, Dr. Reid Mera, one of our pathologists, developed and validated a 15-gene signature that is associated with the risk of recurrence, metastasis, as well as death and overall survival. And we believe that validation of this test in multiple clinical settings can inform the way we manage kidney cancer. When people talk about successes, what they often don't tell you is the failure behind the successes. For example, the grant that was funded through the Cancer Moonshot Initiative was submitted 3 times. The first time it was submitted, it was discussed but not funded. Second time, it was triaged, not discussed. And the third time, we went back to the very first submission, submitted it, it was funded without requiring revision. So what's the point? This, this is something I learned this week in a course that I'm participating in, to think about failure or fail as first attempt in learning. And when we fail, we do again, because we will. We learn from it, and then we move on. It's also important while doing this to spend time with friends and family, to enjoy the work, the people we work with, to enjoy our family and spend time with that. And this is a familiar picture of the bladder to many in the room. When performing flexible cystoscopy, we retroflex to look back at the bladder neck. This is necessary for complete evaluation of the bladder. I have been told that I cannot use the gold cystoscope in patients, but even if I could, it's rigid. I cannot retroflex, I cannot look back. But I have been able to look back and say, how did we get here? I think looking back to end cancer as we know it, we need to know our why we do what we do. It's important to mentor others and be mentored. It's important to ask the right questions, working with the right team and collaboration. And when we fail, it's important to learn from it and have fun. A few days ago, the president met with the leaders of 3 countries, Australia, India, and Japan, to discuss the Cancer Moonshot Initiative. And that meeting led to these leaders committing significant funds in their own countries towards the Cancer Moonshot Initiative. So what's the point? To end cancer as we know it, it will require global teamwork and collaboration. When people ask me, why did you stay at Michigan? It's because of the team of people that I work with. It's because of you. Thank you for what you do, and thank you for listening.